I had a couple of students asking me about solving these equations, and I do want to take a look at number 11 as you are writing that on your notebook paper. So the question said in number 11 that you had 2 plus a divided by 4 equals -1. And what I ask for you to do is to write the problems down and show your work. So when I am taking a look at trying to get this a by itself, most of you knew that you were going to subtract 2 from both sides. So when you were looking at doing that, you should have had a, and I might even use a capital A here just so I can see it a little better, divided by 4 is equal now to -3. Well, the opposite of dividing by 4, so for using inverse operations, is now to multiply on both sides by 4. So if I am taking a look at this, I multiplied on this side by 4, and that gives me just the letter a because that's the same as 1 over 1. And on this side I'm going to multiply. I'm not going to put it as 4 over 1, just as 4, and a is equal to -12. Now remember, you should be able to always check your answer to see if it worked, and any equation you could always check. So before you even look at the back of the book, you should be able to go, oh, if I'm going to check this, what I'm really looking at is 2 plus -12 divided by 4, is that equal to -1? And if we are taking a look at this, and we are solving this problem as you do this one, what you should see is that 2 plus -3 does check, it equals -1. So when there is division, and I think that's where some of you will have more problems, like on 11 and on 17, it seems that ones like 13, or I'm going to look at this case at number 12 just to give you another example, and I know you only had to do the odds, but if you're looking at number 12 when you're solving that, most of you 3n minus 4 equals 11. If I asked you to show me your work in the inverse operation, your first step is to add 4 to both sides of the equality. Your inverse of subtracting 4 is to add. You are left with 3n, in this case, is equal to 15. And you're dividing again by the coefficient, so I'm going to try and get n by itself, so I divide by 3, and n is equal to 5. And again, as I'm looking at that problem, instead of even doing the check in the back, I want to think, oh, if I am going to check this work, I'm going to take 3, but instead of n, I just found n was 5, so 3 times 5, and if I subtract 4, the question is, does that equal 11? And 15 minus 4 does equal 11, and it checks, which means this is our solution. In these last ones, 23 and 25, you are asked to write an equation. So again, if you're kind of struggling with some of this, to me, as you look at this page, which is on page 90, look back at the examples. So this is going to be very similar to problem 2 examples in your textbook. So take a look at that. That should help you out, and I hope that this makes sense as you watch that next video on A5. Thanks.